Hey guys, welcome back to Shop Dog Fabrication. So today we're going to talk about intake manifolds, dual plane intake manifold to be specific, and what modification you can do to it to get a little more RPM out of it. So I'm going to eventually go to boost with this car, but for the time being I want a little more higher RPM. I may lose just a little bit of low end torque out of this, but with my 1 5/8 inch primaries for headers, I'll probably still be able to keep that low end torque. In the past, I have not run a carb spacer, but I'm going to run a carb spacer this year. You can see, if you look at the carburetor here, this black part, that there is a 1 inch spacer on here, and I'll explain to you some of the benefits of running one. And then I'll show you also some of the differences between a stock 750 Holley vacuum secondary and a prepped 750 vacuum Holley. So then, like I said, once we peel this all apart, we'll talk about the intake manifold change, what I'm going to do, I'll show you how I do it, and then what I'm going to do is we'll talk about some of the other things, like I said, the benefits of running a spacer, as well as some of the difference between a prep and a stock 750 Holley. So with that said, let me take this thing apart. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've got the intake manifold off the car now. And what I've done is I've marked this area, which is just a little over 2 inches, that I'm going to take off. And the reason I'm only going to go 2 inches is, as you go down here, it may be hard to see on the camera, but it starts to roll into this runner. And if I go out too far, then I'm going to mess up the airflow that goes into this runner. So I'm going to take just a hair over 2 inches, and then I'm going to blend this or radius this here and here, so it's nice and rounded. But I also, when I go down, I'm only going to go down about 3/4 of an inch. I'm not going to go down an inch like a lot of people do. I'm going to start with 3/4 just to see what it does. This is a street strip car, so I want to keep a lot of the street ability with the dual plane and keep the torque still there as much as possible, but also gain RPM by removing this and then blending this in so that it gives me a little more high-end RPM as well. So what I need to do is cut this out, again, this 2 inch section, go down about 3/4 of an inch, and then I need to blend this all in. So I don't want to leave this solid center like this because it can disrupt then the airflow as it goes down in the runners. Hey guys, so I started doing the intake manifold modification using my die grinder, but you know what? I've always wanted to try something. And if you notice here, I have a nice, smooth area here, nice sharp edges, and I've gone down a little over 1/8 of an inch with my router and a wood bit. So actually I'm just starting to just graduating it a little bit at a time, and it's actually doing a really good job of milling out the material. So I'm going to mill the rest of it using my router. And then I'll use the grinder to blend it all in and radius it. As you just saw, guys, I was able to take this down in really about 5 minutes. And you're also able to see I was easily able to radius this part of the intake manifold. So now I've got a nice smooth transition. So now what I need to do is take and radius the bottom here so the airflow will, not be disturbed as it goes down. It'll flow freely, to the remainder of the plenum. So now we'll do the next step and radius this. Is this bit. This is a little 45-degree bit, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is try to just go on there and just chamfer a little bit of that out as well. And then what I can do is, after I take a little bit of this material out, I'll take one of my abrasive for like supporting the cylinder heads, little cartridge rolls, and I'll just kind of blend that a little bit more, and I think we'll call it quits. That worked out really slick, guys. So I don't know if you can see that very well. But I've got a nice port there. So like I said, what I'm going to do now is take a cartridge roll and just kind of clean this up just a little bit more. And I'll call it quits on the intake manifold, and we'll be able to pop this thing back on. So in just a second after I do that, we'll talk a little bit about running a spacer as well as the carb differences. Alright guys, now that we're done modifying the intake manifold, let's talk about the spacer. So the reason I'm adding a spacer is, one, we'll have more plenum volume in the intake manifold, and two, it will also help cool it down slightly, the charge, as well as improve the atomization of the fuel as it goes down into the intake manifold. So having the spacer here, making the manifold change, we'll get a little higher RPM out of the engine. We might lose just a little bit of torque, but not a lot. And like I said, we'll improve fuel atomization as a whole. So this will also help, take a dual plane and kind of give it a little bit of characteristics of a single plane. And so you'll have, much better streetability still with the dual plane, but you'll get a little more RPM out of it because of the modification and the addition of the spacer. So now, let me set this down and we'll talk about the carburetors. So this one here is basically a stock 750 Holley vacuum secondary carburetor. This one is also a 750 Holley carburetor, but modified by the carb shop. So one quick, difference you'll see is there's no choke horn on the modified carb shop one. Also, you notice where the choke linkage would go through right here on the carb shop, it's been epoxied. So that helps. That you'll notice also around these, it may be hard to see, but I'll throw a couple stills in. There's epoxy here as well. The other thing you'll notice, let me flip this one around. You'll see the metering block on both of these here, but there's no metering block on this side. However, the carb shop has added a metering block. So I'm not going to take this apart. But there's basically what has been added is some carb extensions back here, and also I have the adjustability of changing out my jet sizes. So I'm running, I believe it's 73s in the front and 84s in the back right now. I'm running purple spring for the vacuum secondary. But the other thing you'll notice real quick on the bottom, when you look at these, is you'll notice these are much larger than these. So that'll also help a lot more flow. So those are just a couple of the quick subtle differences of these two different carburetors. So this one modified by the carb shop, it's got some other internal changes as well, but this thing will definitely flow a lot more air than this stock 750. So that was one of the big changes that was made for my off season, is changing the intake, the addition of the carb spacer, and also going with this Carb Shop carburetor. Granted, it's still a vacuum secondary. When I go boost in the future, I'll have to go to a 750 double pumper style, because we'll need to modify it for a blow-through carburetor, and you cannot take a vacuum secondary carburetor and turn it into a blow-through carburetor. The other thing I'm going to be doing is, I just got it in the mail today, is I got this guy. So I was running paper air filter before, and now I'm running this K&N style filter. So I was running a 14x3, this is a 14x4, so it'll fit underneath the hood scoop, you know, and this will breathe a lot better, allow a lot more air in. So I'll be able to take advantage of this carburetor, the carb spacer, the manifold changes that I made, and hopefully we'll be able to propel this car into much better ETs this year. So I hope I was able to show you a couple things today. As always, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for future content. If you have any feedback or suggestions, feel free to leave comments and I'll do my best to reply to them. So again, thank you for taking the time for watching, and get out in your shop and fabricate or modify something. You guys have a great day.